You are welcome to this live stream. We are great to have you, and we really apologize for taking some
time. It's almost an hour, but we were supposed to.
He will briefly tell us. He will briefly tell us what.
Thank you very much for thank you very much for taking your time to participate. In this enterprise development program run by CNOOC Uganda Limited. This 2-week enterprise development program, corporate strategy at CNOOC Uganda Limited to ensure that we have within the industry in the areas of financial management, QHSE, which is quality, international standards, and also to ensure that they understand organizational structure, design to address the needs of the small and medium-sized enterprises in Uganda that are looking to participate, medium-sized enterprises, and prepare them to seize the upcoming opportunities that are arising from the Uganda's oil. We are committed as CNOOC Uganda Limited to investing in initiatives that foster local content and also to ensure that there is beneficial economic growth within Uganda. Now, this online training program is part of our wider effort to ensure that the Ugandan businesses are well positioned to contribute successfully in the oil and gas industry of our nation, Uganda. So this program, the Enterprise Development Program, will cover key areas such as financial management, health and safety standards, some technical training, as well as strategic business planning, financial management, like I mentioned earlier, organizational structure and organizational development, human resource management, and as well as other subsectors within our sector. So by the end of this program, SMEs or small, medium-sized enterprises will have an in-depth knowledge on what is required and the high standards or the stringent high standards of the oil and gas sector. I think that sums it.
Yeah. Basically, you as CNOOC, you organize this to help the stakeholders and the SMEs with the Albert time to make sure that they cope up with what they are supposed to do. Is it a free program that is going out there to these local SMEs, or it is just basically for those people that you're contracting, your contractors out there?
Thank you very much for that question. Now, this program is, first of all, it's free for participants. It targets Ugandan companies and entities that are willing or that are looking for opportunities to participate in the oil and gas sector. Now, we're looking at obviously the companies that are mainly based within the project footprint area, especially in the Albertine region. But that's not all. Also, Ugandan companies at large. However, we prefer companies that are actually looking at taking opportunities in the oil and gas sector because this program would basically focus on the requirements to fully participate and fully engage in Uganda's oil and gas sector.
So I heard you talk about a number of topics that will be covered, a number of sectors that will be covered, and you talked about, was it marketing? You talked about shoe. You know, it was very technical. Let me hope everyone will understand these technicalities. Let me hope everyone will understand these technicalities, and the trainers, the people that will be training, I will make sure that these people understand it better, because you might find that there are SMEs that have people that are not so much well conversant with everything. Like, for example, an SME being managed by an old woman out there in the village. Let me hope they will be achieving a lot from this.
Yes, we believe so, because first of all, we have the facilitators of this training program are very knowledgeable are very experienced about the subject matter. So they will be sharing in a way that that is those questions and shed more light on any area that the participants would like them to. Also, we talked about marketing. We find in the oil and gas sector that most Ugandan companies or most SMEs, there is a gap in how they market themselves. Yes, they could be able to to conduct the jobs or make supplies, participate fully in the value chain in the oil and gas sector. But the challenge sometimes would be that they don't know how to market themselves. The oil companies don't know about the Ugandan companies. Some of them may not be registered on the National Supplier Database. And so this is the information that our facilitators or our contractors would like to pass on, so they can beneficially market themselves. That not only the oil and gas companies, but also other players along the value chain, especially other companies or slightly larger companies in Uganda that are already participating. They also need partners or subcontractors to work with. How do they get to know? So this is some of the information that.
But then what kind of mentorship or networking should these people expect, especially our viewers out there?
Right. Now, since this is an online training program, we're planning to have a physical engagement program, which will focus on mainly establishing linkages and networking. And this physical networking program, the day for physical networking will be communicated, where all the participants will be invited to a particular venue, specific venue, which is likely to be in Hoima, to network, establish linkages, to come and talk about their businesses, display what they have or their services and goods, so that all other participants may get to know, and thereby establish linkages among.
So will that also be like the follow-up program, like how will you know that the people that you have trained have really learned? Is there a follow-up program where you people will have to engage with these people and know whether they are putting in action what they have learned from the training?
Yes, well, there are two areas on how we're going to do it. So we will have the feedback session. The participants will be expected to provide feedback about the learning expectations and the learning outcomes. So that feedback will help us to find areas on how to maybe share some more light or intensify training in certain areas. But also, there is another element where our contractor will recommend all the participants to the Industry Enhancement Center, where they can get further information, where they can assist it even further to electrical, mechanical, welding, and so on and so forth. We have several programs that we as CNOOC Uganda Limited are investing in, and also ensuring that we effectively raise the capability and the capacity of Uganda, as well as injecting or having sustainable development of the Ugandan economy through the oil and gas.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Elkir. We thank you for appearing here today to engage with the viewers that are online today. Remember, this is the CNOOC Online Enterprise Development Program, and it will be happening for 2 weeks. So for 2 weeks, you people will be hearing from a number of coaches, trainers, and whatever we may call them, but they are here specifically to train you and make sure that you understand what is happening in the oil and gas sector. You learn and know what to do, because they have talked about a number of topics that will be discussed. People will know how to brand, people will know how to market, people will know the procurement processes, and this will really help you to be part of the oil and gas. As we hear Mr. Eric has been talking about national content. For me, as me who has been in the Albertine, I really know and understand what CNOOC is trying to do that side. Very many Ugandans have been employed that side, and we are really grateful to CNOOC that it really came in here. And you know, when I think very soon we'll getting our oil. You know, it is our oil. You know, everyone now looks at the Albertine. Even government is looking at the Albertine. We are waiting for our oil. I think lastly, before you leave, uh, maybe when it comes to numbers, how are Ugandans benefiting from this project, especially by CNOOC? When it comes to numbers, do we have some numbers as Ugandans?
Yes, I mean, so far, sorry, I beg your pardon, CNOOC has employed through at the Kingfisher project, we have employed over 1,600 Ugandans working at Kingfisher.
1,600 Ugandans.
Working at Kingfisher today. Okay. We've also offered several contracts to Ugandan companies. These are Ugandan companies to a tune that's beyond 270 million USD. This is 270 million United States dollars. That contracts that have been offered to Ugandan companies.
It's a free course. It's like a course, free training that people will be benefiting from for the next 10 days. I think those are 10 days. So thank you, and maybe we will invite you to some other time to engage our viewers.
Sure. Thank you very much. I wish you the best of the 2 weeks to come. This opportunity is for you as Ugandan companies to grasp, ask as many questions as you can or as possible. We want you to understand these are the requirements of the oil and gas industry so that you can participate in the entire value chain. I mean, we want Ugandan companies, and in fact, we're dying to have Ugandan companies fully participate and fully engage in the oil and gas sector. So please make use of this training, inform everybody else, whoever, inform all whoever is in your network to participate in this training. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best in the next.
Thank you.
but I can't see it.
Welcome back to the CNOOC Online Enterprise Development Project. As I earlier told you, we've been here with Mr. Eric, the local content manager of CNOOC, and as he has earlier notified you, the training will last for 2 weeks, and you as viewers will be achieving a lot from these trainings. They want you, as CNOOC, they want you to learn. They want you to learn the different things that you have to know to be part of, like part of the system in the Albertine. If you want to deal with CNOOC, if you want to deal with anything that is in line with oil and gas. So here today we have one of our first trainers, and it's called Mr. Robert Senoga. Mr. Robert Senoga is a practitioner CPA. People who really understand those things will know it, and maybe he will explain the CPA. He has a master's of business administration. He has a bachelor's of commerce in accounting. He has worked with several agencies. He has worked with the Finca Uganda. He has worked with Movit. He has worked with RSM. He has worked with of course, he has a professional qualification like CPA, as I said earlier, and he is also a qualified internal auditor. So here, Mr. Robert will be training us and teaching us about a number of issues and things that we really have to learn. So you are welcome, Mr. Robert.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Good morning, viewers. I'm here to take you through how you can escape the compliance trap with our enterprise development program. So we are saying, how can you develop your enterprise yet you are compliant with the different regulatory obligations? We are mainly emphasizing on URA compliance, ensuring that you pay your taxes the right time and you pay the right amount. Yeah, so we are basically going to take you through our 3 days. For us to cover this, we shall take you through our 3 days. In these days, we shall discuss, we shall introduce you to taxation, taxation that is going to help out your business develop to the next level, because CNOOC thought of it that at least our businesses, our local businesses, have to be pushed to another level. We shall discuss pay as you earn. What is pay as you earn? Which items are included in pay as you earn? When is it paid? And why is it important to pay as you earn? Then we shall make sure you understand the NSSF obligations for those who have administration, bachelor in commerce, and heading an audit firm in Uganda. It's called SRS Robert and Associates. So I think you are in the right place. So we shall start straight away on our introduction part of taxation. We shall start with the concepts in taxation. As you are aware, taxation has been here for almost the last 2,000 years. If you remember the famous biblical stories, you will somehow find taxation. Yeah. So taxation or business taxes is tax levied on business income. This is the amount you get from your businesses. Transaction such as value-added tax, and then property, that is the property tax that is charged on businesses. So I hear people complain, I have paid this, but I still have to pay this and this. So just know that this concept is broad. It contains business income, and also taxes on transactions, and also the property. As I've been saying, there are several business taxes. The famous one you know of is income tax. This is taxation on business net incomes. By net income, you're saying you get your revenues less expense. If you're dealing in what should be taxable goods, there's always that percentage. In Uganda, it's 18%. If you go to other countries, like Tanzania, it is 16%. Some have as low as 10, 12, depending on the jurisdiction. But for us, we have 18%. And then we have payroll taxes. Payroll taxes are property taxes. These are taxes on business-owned properties, such as rent and all that. A case in point, a company pays income tax on its profits, VAT on sales, and payroll taxes for its employees. So the only responsibility of the employer is to withhold and pay taxes, but it is not. They're not the ones who paid those taxes. They are their employees, but for them, their obligation is to pay, to withhold and pay. So the compliance issue comes in when you don't withhold and pay, or when you withhold and you don't pay. So kind of note, your obligation here is not for you to pay that tax. No, it is the employee to pay. Yeah, for example, if you give someone 500, that person has to pay a payroll tax of 52,000. So it is not your tax. Don't mind. It is the employee to pay, but your obligation is just to withhold and pay. We have what we call filing requirements. For income tax, we have annual filings for income tax returns and then provision. Now, this really depends on your year end. If your year end is June, you are given 6 months. So that means by December, you should have filed and paid both your provisional and final returns. So they give you that period of 6 months, and also now blended with the new requirement of having audited books of accounts for people above 500. That 6 months you have to look for an auditor. They look through your books, then you file and pay those taxes. Then VAT, these are periodical VAT returns based on your sales and purchases. So this depends on what you purchase, this road. So you are only supposed to pay that balance. So for you, if you get your commodities from non-VAT registered persons, you're going to pay a higher VAT tax than someone who gets from VAT registered persons. Then payroll tax, these are returns. These are regular returns paid by employers. For VAT and payroll, these are paid on every 15th of the following month. If for example, you're in October is going to end, but by 15th, you have to file and pay payroll taxes. I think this is a thing. A case in point, a company must file its income tax return by 15th each year and make quarterly estimates depending. Yeah, why is it important for people to be financially compliant? One, you avoid legal consequences. These include fines and penalties, or or even taking legal action on you. So CNOOC thought about it that it should inform you of this obligation to ensure that you avoid these legal consequences. Then, if you pay your taxes, you are maintaining business integrity, hence gaining stakeholders' trust. So stakeholders, it's a range of stakeholders. This can include suppliers, customers, your shareholders, all these. So when you're compliant, you are reading good books with your stakeholders. Then finally, reputation management. You have to pay your taxes to ensure that your reputation is not in danger, because reputation once lost is very hard to regain. It will be really hard to regain, and being in this wind of very many news outlets, and number one, you reserve a business name or register it with URSB, then proceed up to URSB, then proceed up to registration of that company, and then get certificate of incorporation. After that, you apply to URA for a TIN. After you've gotten a TIN, if you're dealing in vertible supplies, that's goods and services, you can register for VAT. Then you can register for payroll tax for you to be in good books with the regulator. So after that, the required documents are business registration certificates, then identification documents. For a company, we shall need IDs of directors, their TIN numbers, and all that, and also proof of address, because these days the tax body really wants to visit your location to ensure that the company you're talking of has a business place of abode, to ensure that you do exist. Either it's rented property or it's yours, but chances are they will require you to come and visit your premises. These days we have online registration, where you go to www.ura.go.ug, you access the website, you create an account, you complete your registration, then upload the required documents, and then you receive a confirmation. Then you can use that confirmation. If you are an individual, you can register your TIN within 5 minutes. But if a company, you have to fill in those documents, then you sign them, then you take to URA for you to get a TIN. Yeah, as I've been telling you, we should escape the compliance trap with this. In order to develop, they will be coming to you to explain, and that process is inconveniencing. So you have to file complete record. Okay. Then number 3, failure to keep records. Kindly maintain books of accounts or records. If you have no capacity of maintaining books of accounts, maintain your records. And records are as simple as your certificates of incorporation, the receipts you get when you pay your rent. Very simple documents. So it is not complex. As I normally say, accounting is the easiest subject. You just file documents, then you come up with records. So you have to make sure you file your records. Then for resources and tools, the URA website, if you have time, it has a lot of information. All the acts pertaining tax regulations are in there. Various explanations are in there. So you have to make good use of it, not just to upload and file returns, but it has a lot of information. Then if you can afford, to encourage you to use accounting software. This can be as basic as Excel, and as complex as integrated accounting systems, those that can even communicate when an employee comes in. They can take photos, then they register their appearance, manufacturing systems, all those can be gotten through accounting software. Then you can seek tax advisory to make sure they tell you what you don't know or what you know in the best way, in the simplest way. So you should always seek tax professionals, accountants, lawyers, and all those ones. Example, continuous monitoring of data privacy regulations and proactive measures to address compliance challenges. And also, we encourage you to have audits and maybe checks on your compliance levels. Yeah, thank you so much. I think,
So
I will invite.
that is our first part in the training, as Mr. Senoga has been trying to train us and tell us about taxation. Remember, there is a lot that we are yet to learn, and the package is very big. We shall be giving it to you in bits. Remember, it's the CNOOC Online Enterprise Development Program.
Sure.
Ask your friends, share this link so that everyone else joins and gets this free training. CNOOC has organized it for you, and it really wants you to really understand what is in the sector. It really wants you to get business in the oil and gas sector. So it's the reason that's why the training is happening. They want you to learn. Like, for example, Mr. Senoga has been talking about taxation. Did you know about taxation? Do you know what it requires to file returns? Do you know the process of filing returns? Do you know that you can even pay your taxes online? Do you know that all these processes can really happen online at just a click, a simple click on a website? So, ladies and gentlemen out there, continue sharing the link. We want everyone to be here. Don't let your friend, don't let that SME that you know miss out on this opportunity to learn about the various topics that these experts will be teaching you about. So we've been talking about taxation.
Sure.
And when you talk about taxation, let's talk about these local SMEs. You know, very many people fear taxes, and they always hate it, and they're like, they like this other way of taxing them, where they really don't know. When they wake up one day and they're like, do you know what? You are taxed, but you don't know. They don't like direct tax. They like indirect taxes. So, for you as an expert in this field, do you think everything must happen indirectly, or it is important when someone pays the tax directly?
I think indirect taxes are better, because I don't know if for us who have been here for some time, you remember the graduated tax.
Yeah.
You would see respectable people being chased
Exactly.
in the village. So some would get injuries, the respect is gone, and all that. But for me, I think indirect taxes are better.
Direct taxes are better.
Yeah, indirect taxes are better because, by the way, most of the taxes are indirect. Yeah, most of them are indirect. For
Like
example,
which kind of taxes? Let's talk about those taxes that are indirect that you think
for example,
pay.
They get that money of your salary, but some of you even don't know how much.
Exactly.
And how they pay it and when they pay it. For example, and also value-added tax.
Yeah.
Like for you just buy your soda. You don't know how much has been taken, at what point is it going to be transferred. Yeah, so such taxes.
Yeah. So do you think these people know why they pay tax?
Yeah.
And do they know the importance of paying tax?
I think they do because by the way, people mistake consultants that they should be the ones to explain to them why they pay tax. Yet now, a consultant starts from when an act has been passed by Parliament. Then a consultant comes in to explain, not even to change anything within that law, but to explain to you how best we are going to use what has been passed. Yeah, it's more of a like what taxes does for you and all that. It is not in our docket. But for us, we are telling you, this is what is in the law. This is what you should do to ensure that you're compliant. Yeah, it is.
You were also talking about filing returns. Which returns are these, and who is supposed to pay returns? Who is supposed to file the returns, and who is not meant to file the returns?
Actually, every person doing any form of business or earning income, they have to first pay tax and then to file returns. This can be as simple as tax regimes that, such as presumptive tax returns, the ones we are going to see if you go to income tax for small business. It is as simple as estimating your income and then you pay your taxes in there. Yeah, everyone is supposed to pay taxes. And also, if you're employed and you have other sources of income, you're supposed to file your returns too. Yeah, everyone is supposed to. Basically, a return is communicating to the tax body that, hey, I got in this money, I spent this, so here's the balance, let's share this, and I give you 30% or any percentage, then I remain with my share.
Do you think Ugandans can really disclose exactly what they have got? Like, are we really trustworthy that we can always fail the exact returns that we get?
Yeah.
Like, for example, let's talk about those SMEs. Let's say someone has got something like over 2 billion. Can they really fail that we really got 2 billion?
Yeah, I think after we thank CNOOC for coming up with such initiatives, because I think after explaining and getting these trainings or hearing this information from maybe a normal citizen like myself, people can pick up that attitude of paying taxes, because it's our obligation for us to ensure that our country develops. I think we can do better. But now the problem is not understanding the process, because the process starts from record keeping. If you have your records and you can prove, yeah, I got 2 billion, but I used 1.5 billion on expenses. Here is my proof. As you can see, this is the only balance I'm left with. Why didn't you pay it? Yeah, then for the, change. Change is hard. I will not say it's a one-day event, but after some time, we shall get there. Yeah, we just need to understand what we need to do, when we have to do it, and why we have to do it. Then the why is for my other stakeholders, the government, the parliament, and all those. They should get also programs like this. They train people on the why. Then for us, our main purpose as consultants is the how. How do you do it? Then, yeah.
So, like, for example, still about the tax. Can we know how does this benefit a company that wants to participate in the oil and gas paying taxes? How does it benefit a company?
Very good. Nowadays, if you are bidding for any job in a serious company, we have what we call tax clearance certificate. It is document either number 2 or number 3 on when bidding. So for you to get that tax clearance certificate, you have to be paying taxes regularly. Otherwise, if you don't pay taxes, you are out of the organized economy. That is why we have to endeavor to pay taxes. Because if you don't have a tax clearance certificate, you can't get business in serious companies, and more so you can't get anything in government. If you don't, pay taxes. So it is advisable you keep a clean record of your account. The taxes you are supposed to pay them on time so that you can get a tax clearance certificate.
So, then which taxes do these oil and gas companies want to see in their documents, mainly in particular?
By the way, basically, because tax payments and my tax records are my tax records, so government saved you from displaying your information to external parties by getting that document called tax clearance certificate. That certificate, it will just mention this person has been compliant with tax obligations for such and such a year. So don't be teased. No person is supposed to know what is happening in your internal house. The only document that will satisfy the other person that have been paying is a tax clearance certificate. Yes.
Okay, so it is a tax clearance certificate.
TCC.
So that's all that they need from anyone to confirm that this one is compliant.
Yes, yes.
And now let's say, if you are not compliant, can't you do business with within the oil and gas sector? Like for example, working with CNOOC?
I don't think.
It is revenue that has to clear you.
By the way, it's not only for the oil and gas sector alone, but many big companies, they are requiring companies to file and pay taxes because these days I don't know if you know about ESG.
ESG.
Yeah, that one. So you find someone who wants you to comply with environmental standards, social standards, and governance standards. So if you don't pay taxes, you have a very big governance question. So answer that question by paying taxes. So that's why you see nowadays, if you look at serious companies, they will always ask for a tax clearance certificate because they want to see, is your governance question being answered or it is still lingering? So there's taxes. It is the simplest you can detect the level of compliance of a company. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I think we are learning something, and that was the very first bit about tax. Why do we need to pay tax? Why is the tax important? Why do we need to be compliant for us to be in the oil and gas sector to benefit from it? And what are the requirements of being compliant, and kind of documents that we really need for us to be compliant and be acceptable in the oil and gas sector? We are still here with Mr. Senoga, and he's still telling us more about taxation. And we will have him for the next 2 days, and he'll be still training us and telling us more about compliance and taxation. So we will go for our next topic. We'll go for our next topic. If you have any questions, please send them on that YouTube link that we sent you. Send it down there. Send it as a comment. Or you can send an email to CNOOC or to Vectra. We will receive your questions. If you have our WhatsApp, maybe we'll drop a number there so that it is easy for you to send in your questions, so that these experts can always answer you, or you can even engage them after our discussions right here. So we will go in for the next topic, Mr. Senoga.
Thank you so much. I think the audience is ready for pay as you earn. Pay as you earn. Just as is. Pay as you earn.
Pay as you earn. So okay, we will learn about pay as you earn. Pay as you earn is something that we've been hearing for quite some good time. Let me hope it will not scare
it will not.
away people. So I think we can go on with pay as you earn. I hope my team out here is very ready. So viewers, share the link. Let your friend out there, let that local SME see, watch this, and also learn, because it's a free training that was organized by CNOOC. Remember, it is the CNOOC Online Enterprise Development Program, which will be running for the next 9 days. We will be here every day with different topics, because CNOOC wants you to learn. Because as a CNOOC, you can't be in this sector alone. You always have to bring in these people, the service providers, the contractors, and different people that work in the oil and gas sector. So we will allow Mr. Senoga to continue with pay as you earn. Are we ready, team?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much. It's as the word goes, pay as you earn. Whenever you're earning, you have to pay something. You pay to who? To URA or government. So whenever you are earning something, you pay. That's it. So basically, this is tax on monthly income for people who are employed. So whenever you're getting 235, above 235,000, now this tax sets in if you are a resident. Whenever you're earning 235, when you are a resident, this tax sets in. So anyone below, this is not your game, but if you're above 235, you have to pay as you earn. So, and if you are employing people, that earn above 235, just get a seat and listen. So it is paid to URA by the employer. So if you are an employee and your employer is not submitting, it is up to him to ensure that he submits your taxes on your behalf. However, not everything is subject to being considered as a gross income for pay purposes. So if your employer gives you a benefit of less than 10,000, you are free to receive it and make sure they don't put it on their payroll.
Less than 10,000.
Less than 10,000. If maybe your employer gives you a notebook to take home, that's below 10,000, that is not part of what we are talking about. Then, if you are earning below 235, you are free for you not to pay taxes. So
235.
Yeah, 235,000.
So people who are earning less than 235 don't pay tax.
They pay zero tax. They pay tax, but it is zero tax.
Zero tax.
Yeah, they pay tax, but it is zero tax. Okay. So here we have a situation, a big debate when it comes to wages.
Yeah.
These people who earn wages. Someone will say, me, I get 20,000 a day. But 20,000 a day times 21 days, 21 working days in a month, that's how much? Around 40.
Yeah.
400. So automatically that person qualifies for payee.
Okay.
That's why you see many people have struggle with URA. Someone says, these are my employees, but they just get a name they add. If it's above, payee. Yeah. So you have to make sure you're compliant. You have to. If you, by the way, this is very good that we have this. Because if your benefits, if you've worked for more than 10 years in a company, when, for example, a company gives you 10 million, 25% is tax-free. They only tax the 75%. But people partially understood that clause, so they think that their benefit is what? is not taxed, but only 25% of that benefit is what is what is not taxed. Then we have transport costs for non-Ugandans. If you're bringing in a person to come and work here, that is the benefit that's not taxed.
It's when you bring in someone to work from Uganda.
Non-Ugandan, that transport cost.
Yeah.
Those transport costs they are not taxed.
Okay.
Don't tax them because it will be double.
Okay.
Allowances for travel, accommodation, and meals. Now these meals, it has a clause. These meals have to be supplied to everyone in the company at an equal basis. If you're all eating meat, eat meat. If you're all eating posho, you eat posho. Not like maybe the managers, for them, they are big people, they will eat meat.
Yeah.
Then these other people, they will eat beans. It has to be on an equal basis. Whenever it fails that test, you are able to include it as a benefit.
As a benefit.
Yeah, by the way, also in that account, you find people talking of, now if I buy meals in the restaurant, have you brought for everyone, or you're just buying for yourself?
Yeah.
So it has to be on an equal basis. Regardless of the status, people should be served the same meals. Then there you can start off thinking about it as a non-taxable benefit. Otherwise, it is taxed. Don't bring your expenses. I went to Cafe Javas, I bought those excellent meals for myself as a boss, maybe as a manager. So I'm highlighting some of the accounts that bring a lot of issues when you declare your return. Yeah, so we are saying for residents, if you earn below 235, you pay nil. If you exceed 235, but not 335, you pay 10% of the excess amount. So this will be 335 minus 235, that balance will just pay 10%. So if you're exceeding 350 but not 410, you first pay the 10,000 and 20% of any amount above that. Then the big shots in Uganda will start, if you're earning above 410, you start from 450, then you add on the 30% of the money that is excess, 410.
Yeah.
Then, if you're earning more than 10 million, you have to pay another 10% on that amount that is above 10 million. So the tax ranges between 0 to some shoot up to 45%, depending.
So this means that if I am getting 50 million,
yes,
I'll be charged like 3 times.
No,
I'll be taxed like
not 3 times per se. We are saying we have to charge 25 plus 10 million minus 410 plus 10% times 50 million minus 10 million. You get?
Okay.
Yeah. So you find some people are paying like 45%, 40%, depending on how much they are earning. Yeah.
So earning a lot of money is a problem again.
No, it's not a problem. It's an advantage to you.
An advantage
to you and your government.
Okay.
So government is saying, yeah, we understand you're getting the money. Please share with us.
Yeah.
Share with us something. So that's why they amended that law to include that clause.
So we are not equal when it comes to paying taxes.
Just in society.
Yeah.
Just in society, some work on foot, some use bicycles, some use boda, some use. So that's, and by the way, the one of the reasons why tax comes in is to balance, is to stretch so that society is somehow balanced. You understand? Yeah.
Okay, so I think when some friend of mine in Majezi tries to understand how the salary is being taxed, I think he will hate receiving a lot of salary because of the mathematics that is on it. But then we can continue. So I think viewers, you are really watching and you are understanding and getting something out of this. We are understanding pay as you earn. Pay as you earn. You are earning, but at the same time, you are paying something to your government. So we can continue.
Yeah, then we are aware that non-nationals work in the country. So for non-nationals, they have their non-residence residence rates. So for a non-national, even if they are earning below the other threshold, they have to pay something. So for
even if they're earning below 200,
yes, for them, that clause doesn't work for them.
okay.
Any amount they get below that, they get 10%. Above 340, 335, they pay 20%, plus 35, 335, like that. So for them, the emphasis here, let them not complain about the other threshold of they are supposed to be taxed on each and everything they get within our country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Then we have what we call obligations. So, as an employer, what are obligations? You have to deduct, collect tax at pay time. The word there is correct tax.
Deduct,
Correct tax.
not collect, but correct.
Correct.
Okay.
We are saying if you give your employees benefits
Yeah.
and they're taxable, please include them. Don't wait for the tax man to penalize you.
Okay.
Okay? Then remit the taxes by 15th. Okay? Of the month.
You remit the taxes
By 15th,
by 15th.
of the month.
the following
of the
month.
following month. Then you have that monthly tax reporting. It's what we call the return. Okay? Then we have then you have to keep your records for a minimum of 5 years, but we encourage 10 years because there are so many laws that are not synchronized. So we think you should keep this for 10 years. So the taxman is, so you have this obligation
Yeah.
for you to keep these records for more than 5 years. So you don't just throw away, after I've paid everything, they've given me TTC, let me throw away. No, you have to keep your record.
But about that, do even the employees know how they are being taxed? Do employers labor to explain to the employees how they tax them,
Yes.
how much? Do they explain? Or
For-
is it a must? Is it their obligation as employers to explain to
Yeah,
the
you should
employees?
explain why you're taking my money. So I remember when I was working, the HR people would do the payroll.
Yeah.
Okay, so you would go sit with them, especially this comes up with salary increments.
Yeah.
Someone has been told we've increased maybe by 400. Someone gets 200. Automatically, that person will come to your office. You see that person and explain to them. It is your obligation to explain to them, and it's their right to be explained to why you're taking my ad money. Okay. Then the employee, if you are having multiple sources, declare income from all sources.
As in, I declare to my current employee
No.
that I'm having some other money somewhere.
That's
Or
not,
whom do I
that's not
declare
their
to?
business.
Yeah.
And I think it's advisable for you not to tell your employer that I'm earning money somewhere. No. We're saying you, as an individual, you have to file your return, separate returns. By the way, I get money maybe from CNOOC.
Yeah.
Then I have a consultancy, I get money from, then the balance you pay, URA. And even the taxman is not supposed to disclose that information. Okay? Then you have to get the total deductions, including business income. Then you should have tax payment proof. By the way, it is your duty. You can go to your employer, tell them, please show me where you pay my taxes from. Huh? It's your obligation, man. Being Uganda, you have to be very careful when you're exercising your right.
You might ask your employer and they tell you, why are you trying to ask me about taxes? Yet it is our obligation legally.
And the taxman is not complaining. Then you have to declare all taxes paid. So that in this year, I have paid these taxes. So I have a balance here.
But do you think Ugandans know this, that they know that every year they must know the tax they have paid? Do I even know? I myself know that every year I pay this amount of tax.
This is public information.
Yeah.
We also get it from the public source. It is all over on like the URA website.
Like, can I go on the URA website and know the taxes that I have paid each year?
Yeah, because the tin is yours. You can log into your tin.
Yeah.
Then you know what you paid.
Okay. Because some of us are like, and very many other viewers think that this tin is just helping government to tax us. So very many of us don't go anywhere on that website to check how much we have paid when it comes to taxes, how much we have filed as written. We don't know about that. But then that's good knowledge that when I go on the website, I can go check on my tin and I know how much I have paid. I think I have, for me, I think I have paid enough to government. I think
I'll tell you a story where the region I'm coming from, people would boost on by then it was graduated tax. They would boost on the number of tickets they have paid. So they will tell you, I've been paying value added tax for 20 years. Even I have my tickets. So what I'm saying, so the person who has paid many tickets will make you keep quiet. So it is, and I think you've ever heard of such an argument.
Yeah, locally.
Yeah,
people
by then
gossip
it was
about
like,
that.
or in a ticket home solo, things like that. So it all comes from this point. Yeah. Every obligation has consequences. So but the liability rests with the employer. The employer's liability is responsible for unpaid tax, penal tax, and interest thereof. Okay? If you're supposed to have paid 1 million, maybe in January and you didn't pay, URA will come, you pay the 1 million, they get the penal tax and then the interest for you not paying that money on time. The employer. Okay? Yeah. So I think with that, I think I've shared enough on payee.
Now, let me take you back to where you started from, especially about payee.
Sure.
You pay as you earn. And we are talking about people who are getting more than 230. There are very many companies that I know that pay cash. Do these companies pay tax? Do these employees pay tax if you are receiving your money cash? Because I see very many factories that pay cash. And everyone lines up, they pay them cash and they leave and go.
Yeah, those are now what we call wages.
Wages.
With wages, if the total amount that person receives is below 235, you are okay. But because it is allowed, you know, we have factories and all that. If you're paying someone below 200, we don't want you to go into that space of requesting for their tin and all that. That's okay. But if even those wages are above 235, you have to pay tax. You have to register them for pay and you pay tax. They are all.
So that means very many people are not compliant, because we have heard and we have seen very many people that pay, very many companies, very many agencies that pay people cash. Every end of the month, someone goes, they pay them cash. So they're not tax compliant and they are cheating government.
Yeah.
We say they are cheating government.
The problem is not paying. The problem is not paying cash. The problem is paying cash above probably than 35.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can be alleging maybe you don't have evidence that they are paying above. But if they are paying above, by the way, URA pays whistleblowers.
Yeah.
If you have a whistleblower and you have your evidence, they give you is it around 5% of the amount that person pays and the interest. Yeah.
So there you mean people should start like benchmarking and trying to look around and see who is not paying the taxes, who is paying more than 250,000 and is not paying payee. So when I pay payee, how is it really going to help me? What is the importance of paying payee?
As an employer or as an
No,
employee?
as an employee.
As an employee, you are supporting our lovely government, protect us and provide us with services. That is number one.
Yes.
Then the indirect benefit is for government to reduce on your spending power to avoid things like inflation, and then also to slow your ego. Yes, like now just assume all the money you get was disposable income. What will be happening by end month? Yeah, so it helps to redistribute income.
So that means that if I don't pay payee, I'm cheating government.
That's one.
I am against development,
Two.
and I'm not being compliant. Me
Yeah.
and my
You
employer,
and your employer.
we are not.
But now the
compliant at
most
all.
burden lies with the employer, because being long in this industry, I have handled struggles where an employee has left on a bad note, then the employee goes to the tax man. This man has not been paying. This is how much I've been getting. He has not been paying. So for you to avoid that, be compliant.
So you've taught us about calculating pay, and we know the math, and maybe we will need to know again later how to calculate pay, so that these people can really understand, because some of them may think their employers are cheating on them, because I received the sub-question here. Someone was saying that our employers keep confusing us when it comes to payee. Do we have like tax codes, payee tax codes, or it is the thing that we use?
I would say every tax head has a special kind of return.
Yeah.
Every tax head has a special kind of return. So there are payee returns, withholding tax returns, VAT, income tax returns. So depending. Yeah.
Because we also talked about the other issue of payee, that it's not the same across all income levels.
Let me flash it. Yeah.
It's not the same across all income levels, payee. So like, let's talk about, because the people that we are talking about are local SMEs, mainly. SMEs where people are earning less than, let's say 10 million. They're earning less than 10 million. If we do the math, let's just do the math. Someone who is earning 500,000, how much is that person paying? 52? Then what about someone who is earning 1 million?
1 million, it goes at around, I don't know if I have my calculator here, but it goes around, is it 100 and something? What's 100 there?
Because people really need to understand this. Sometimes,
because
this
for
topic
example,
is very,
someone earning, you said 1 million, you just get 25,000 plus brackets 1 million minus 410,000 times 30%. That would be your tax.
Where is this 420 coming from?
It is that threshold they put. Yes.
Okay.
By the way, in Uganda, if you earn more than 410, you are a giant
410
for tax
again.
purposes.
Okay. Okay.
You are a person now ready to make debates on how the things should be run.
Now, there was some other issue, whether payee is applicable to salaries. It is applicable to salaries.
Yes. And other benefits, please. Salaries, wages, and other benefits that are taxable.
Then, what if the employer doesn't pay taxi, doesn't pay payee? What happens? Are there penalties?
You just go into the tax and they will come and the guy pays.
I just got a report that my employer, but how do I even know?
The good thing is they give you 5% of that money. So.
Yeah. But then, how do I know that my employer is paying my taxes or not? What if that employee of mine just pays me deducting the tax and taking it himself?
There are many avenues you can know that. You go to the HR of that company. You can also go to URA. They have all the returns on all the companies. They will show you.
Okay. So how often is payee paid?
It's paid on 15th of every month of the following month.
15th of the following month.
Now for October, we shall pay 15th of November.
So that means for me, when I get my salary, my boss will remain with the payee and pay in the next month.
Yes. And in the field I'm coming from, we use such money for cash flow management. I deduct from you, then I can use it to manage my finances. Then by 15th, then I can.
Then are there deductions allowed under payee?
Yeah, they are here. If you go back to our slides, we talked of a benefit below 10,000. That one is allowed. Any amount below 235, that is allowed. Terminal benefits, the 25% is an allowable deduction. Being transported to Uganda, that cost. Meals are all here. Transport and travel for business, they are all allowed expenses.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is...
so they allow benefits, they allow deduction.
Okay, this is very understandable. Now let me check some of our viewers. Some of you are having questions online here. I have been reading a few. Here. Let me see some of these other questions. I see whoever is online right now. Share the link, continue sharing the link so that very many other people don't miss out on this opportunity to ask those questions they have always wanted to ask. These ones here are experts that will give you all the information that you really need to understand. So, online here, I see very many people. Thank you for joining, but please continue sharing the link.
Send in your questions.
Sharing the link and send in your questions. I want to read a few questions here. Someone wants to inquire. Mr. Senoga, we have Nayevale Hilda. Thanks for watching, Nayevale Hilda. Nayevale Hilda wants to inquire. If I'm having a small company, how do I get tax clearance? If I'm having a small company, how do I get tax clearance?
Nayevale, if a small company, later in the slides we shall get to know what kind of tax small companies pay. But you have to pay. You have to file some return called the presumptive tax return. You pay between 80,000 to 900,000 depending. Then you apply for a tax clearance certificate. They give you straight out.
Okay.
And by these days they're instant. They check in the system, same minutes.
So Nayevale, as you've heard, it is very instant.
Yeah.
If you need the help, of course, we can still help you after this show. Then Ivan Masengere has a question here. Can you tell us more about withholding? and how I can apply for withholding exemption.
Uh, Thank you, Ivan, for that question, but we shall dwell more on withholding tax, I think, on tomorrow or the other day.
Okay.
We will have complete slides.
Okay, so
like 20 or so many slides. On
Ivan,
tax.
just keep here. You will get
Don't
all
go
that
away.
information that you need. Just keep joining, and I think we'll have it on Wednesday.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, on
We
Wednesday.
can pack that question.
It is a full package for you, Ivan. I see people here that joined us online. Amina Kenya, thank you. Amina says it's a very good information. Here we have, please send in your questions. Very many of you were saying the sound is not clear, but right now the sound is very clear. Then someone was asking whether CNOOC and Vectra will have certificates for those that are online and attending. Yes, everyone will get a certificate. Everyone who is attending will get a certificate. Just keep here. Share the link, invite very many of your friends to join and learn, because this is an opportunity that you'll not get anywhere else. It is only CNOOC that availed this opportunity for you.
We really
So,
thank them.
any other questions, guys? You can send in your questions here. We are waiting for your questions. But meanwhile, I think I also have some other questions here sent in by the people. Let me look at the question. Send in questions about the taxation, and now we are talking about pay. Let me see this question. I think you've answered this question, especially the last one. You said you'll answer it maybe on Wednesday.
Yeah, sure.
As we are tackling that. But maybe this person is eager to just hear about that, maybe briefly.
What was the question again?
The question was about, can you tell us more about withholding and how I can apply for withholding tax exemption?
Withholding tax, people are very familiar with 6%. If you've ever supplied government, mainly, they'll tell you we are paying you less, 6%. So now the debate starts from there. But there are different rates. They begin from 6 to 15, 25, depending on who you are and what you supplied, different companies. Rates are different for public entertainers. They are different for digital services. They are different for mobile money services. So there. But if you are compliant, you are registered for VAT, and your ledger is good, you can apply for what we call tax exemption, withholding tax exemption. The exemption is for you, the company that has applied, that when they are going to pay you, they'll give you all your money. Okay? But when you're paying your suppliers, you have to withhold that 6%. Okay? Except for your fellow people you are with in a bracket of exempt organizations. You understand? Yeah, but you have to have a good ledger. You have to be paying your taxes on time for you to apply for withholding tax. Yeah, we shall drill more into that.
So I think we'll tackle that question
because it is
more when
wide.
the time comes.
Because by the way, even pay is a withholding tax. The employer withholds tax, then he remits it. So it is a broad tax head.
Okay. So I think we are following, and we need more questions. Please send in your questions, and they will be answered by Mr. Senoga. Remember, we are here for the Online Enterprise Development Program, sponsored by CNOOC, because it really wants you to know everything about taxation, payee, exemptions, and all that, so that you can join the oil and gas sector very well without any issues. So we have tackled taxation already. We have now tackled payee. Which other topics are we?
We are going to look at the interesting topic called NSSF.
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 So, everyone
And
out
it will be
there,
our final.
are
topic.
you really paying NSSF? Is your employer paying NSSF for you? If not, why are they not paying NSSF for you? Do you know why you are supposed to pay NSSF, and you know its importance, how it really helps you in future? So those are some of the issues that Mr. Senoga will be tackling in the next.
And by
few
the way,
minutes.
NSSF, to me, it is more important to employees than the payee.
Okay.
Because the NSSF is just kept for those employees when they reach a certain age, the employer will.
So NSSF is for you, the employee, and
so it is upon you now to chase.
payee is for someone else called government. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Government is nice. It is saying, okay, they have given us our share. Now let's demand the
For you.
15% for you.
So government helps you demand for that money,
yes.
so that you are safe in
It
future.
put up mechanisms for which you can benefit when you are in retirement or something. Because you spend all the time working for the private entities.
Okay.
You have to be rewarded because the government has their own pension mechanism.
Oh, I know everyone out there viewing us is very excited to know about this topic of NSSF, because you've been hearing it. Many of you hear about it. Many of you have been saving with NSSF, but you really want to know, when can I get my money? And how much do I even get after this number of years? And some of you also want to know, after 5 months, when I'm working somewhere and they chase me away, can I still be saving NSSF? Or if I be jobless, that is the only money that I've saved. So, Mr. Senoga, you can start straight away on this topic.
Thank you. NSSF Uganda is a social scheme that provides financial protection to employees in the private sector through retirement, invalidity, and survivors' benefits. Established to ensure that employees have savings to support them in retirement or during times of need. Nowadays, the Act was amended. If you get a serious issue, they can give you part of your money or all of it. Yeah. What is the importance of NSSF to employees is to attract and retain talent. For example, you've seen people who switch jobs. Someone might fail to go because, or someone might go because maybe the other employer is going to give them a special package on employees because now there is that voluntary window apart from the mandatory 5% for the employee and 10% for the employer. An employer can add you something. Maybe they can tell you, maybe we shall give you another 5 so that you'll be remitting 10%. So it is a way to attract and retain talent. It's a CSR, it's a corporate social responsibility mechanism. As I've told you, the ECG is here to stay. Now NSSF lies in the S, the social obligation. How are you treating your employees? So with my package of NSSF, I can comfortably say my S part of the ESG is covered, and so you can really explain. Then it's a compliance requirement. Now, by the way, nowadays, people on the call and our viewers, NSSF, URA and NSSF synchronize that.
Yeah.
If you remit your payee to URA and you don't remit to NSSF, NSSF will write to you and send you the NSSF unpaid and then the interest. So you have to make sure your URA payee returns synchronize with what you filed with NSSF. So don't do a blind compliance. You do compliance on one side and then you do blind on the other. You have to make sure you're compliant in both entities because they communicate.
Yeah.
That's why you've seen me not sending you emails, wondering where they got your emails. So the bodies now somehow work together. The URSB would send to URA send to NSSF. So you have to make sure you're compliant at pay level, NSSF level. That's why these two topics, they're following each other. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Then it's a retirement benefit, rider benefits, survivors benefit, and then other additional benefits. Because with now NSSF, you can get affordable housing through NSSF, through your SF projects. I think you've seen many these days. NSSF is coming up with this.
Yeah.
Then there's somebody to grow savings through NSSF, and some banks now have started requiring NSSF money as security. Yeah, employee registration and compliance. Who should contribute? Who should contribute? All private sector employees and their employees aged 18, aged 16 to 55, the contribution rates. Employers contribute 10% of the employee's monthly gross salary. Then the employees contribute 5%. What's the registration process? Employers must register with NSSF by submitting the necessary forms and documentation to the taxman. Then then the employer should obtain an NSSF number. Should obtain an NSSF number. Should get an NSSF number, just like the team. The NSSF team has a NSSF number. The one you communicate with, with the NSSF guys. Then it's a compliance requirement. What are the compliance requirements? Maintain accurate records of all employees and their contributions. The key word there is accurate. Accurate record. Accurate, please. Not any records, because nowadays they sync it with the URA team.
Yeah.
So in any way where you put annexes, they will notify you through emails that you have this obligation is not paid. So you have to make sure those two organizations now sync and they have the right amount. To get good auditors, they will highlight some of these problems before the taxman can. And then submit monthly contribution schedules and payments on time. Then regularly update NSSF on any changes in employee status or salary. For example, if someone has left, you drop those people. If you've added new staff, you include those people into your return. Then the contribution process, employee support and resources. It has NSSF as an online portal. These days it has an app. You can vividly access your account, and also nowadays they send SMSs. I don't know if you've received.
Yeah.
For example, with the recent, was it that 10% interest that was accorded? Everyone was sent their balances on their phones. So it is now as easy as that. It has what we call employee education programs. If you go to if you go to their website, they'll show you the training sessions they have and all that. So training and information is really available. So there's nothing like I didn't know or I don't know where to access. Information is readily available nowadays. Online you can get anything. Then they have a customer support center. Yeah. If there's anything, you can always call them. Yeah, I think that's what I had for.
Okay. I have attentively listened to you when you were explaining about why NSSF, why we need it. But is every employee meant to serve with NSSF?
Yes.
As a must?
Now the law has changed.
Yeah.
Even if you are self-employed, you can save with what?
If you are self-employed, you can decide to save your NSSF
voluntarily.
voluntarily.
Yes.
So once in a while you go, or it is automatic. You just
No, you have
make
to
it.
go and you take your what is this document? National ID.
Doesn't it act like a saving club? You going every month to pay your
Yeah, you have to
NSSF.
pay every month. Every month.
Well, I think that gets so hard
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
But let's talk about these SMEs.
But kindly, if you're employing someone's son or daughter,
Yeah.
kindly remit their NSS. It is very bad that that person leaves your company. Everyone knows they have been working, yet they don't have anything to support them at old age.
Okay.
So, it is
So who is eligible?
every person, employee.
Every person who is employed is eligible to.
Even if you share a boy, name it. Yeah.
Wow. Because
They pay the 5%, you pay the 10%. It is a cost sharing.
I think such knowledge I wish such knowledge goes to people like the border guys, like the people out there in KCCA, the cleaners. If it goes out there to tax conductors and those taxi drivers, that could really help them. If they engage them and tell them, please, if you decide to come and save every month, and then how much are they supposed to save? Is it, do you save what you want?
Voluntarily, yes.
What about when it comes to these workplaces? Is it 15%?
5% is from your salary.
Yeah.
The 10% has to be footed by your employer. Then you are talking of I wish everyone knows.
Yeah.
I think the concerned parties should contact Vectra for such more trainings. Yeah. We
So
can-
how are you just talked about the calculation. You said what is the calculation?
5% of your gross
5%.
remains with your employer. Then the employer adds 10%, then they remit.
Okay, so every month I be saving 15%.
Then 15%.
Now let's say 15% of 300.
Let's use a simple number like 100. 5% of 100 is 5,000.
So,
Then the employer gives you the saving.
so you save 15,000 every month. Okay. What are the benefits of NSSF contribution?
You'll get this money. If you're incapacitated, you'll get this money. Yeah.
Like when you talk about being incapacitated
When maybe you get a fatal accident that you can't work
anymore,
they'll give you this.
that's the only time you can get that
That's
money.
the only time when you can't work. When you've retired, you will be a good judge. So your grandparents will be coming because you have some pocket money to give them. Yes, that's also another.
Now let's say I have worked
And also, it breeds entrepreneurship. For example, this early retirement window 45 they put there, so you can easily get that money, then you start up a business that will employ other people. Because you find some people have 300 million, 500 million, 200 million money that can start substantial investing.
Okay. That's good.
So the main reason for these initiatives is to develop countries and communities. For example, when you get that money and you have a very good plan, you can start something that can employ like 2 or 5 people, or 10, depending.
Okay.
Yeah, it breeds entrepreneurship.
Okay, I know. Now, can employees transfer their NSSF contributions between jobs?
What do you mean?
From here, like for example, I have been working with CNOOC, and now I'm working with Vectra. Can I transfer those NSSF contributions?
I don't know what you call transfer, but you have one account.
Yes.
That account will show you all the money that has been paid by your different employers. If you leave this employer,
Yeah.
where the next employer you go, just give them that number. They be putting money.
The NSSF number.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So NSSF is also like URA.
Like URA.
It's like my team.
Yes.
Everywhere I go, my employer asks me for my
Eh.
NSSF number. I just avail that
If they
number.
don't ask for it, run away, or
Yeah.
you go to the nearest NSSF office
Okay.
for redress.
Now, what are these voluntary NSSF contributions?
For example, you might be maybe given like maybe 20 million, and that money is too much for you.
Yeah.
You can tell your employer, please add some more 5%, then you'll be deducting 10% from my end, then you can be paying the 10% from your end. Yeah, really voluntary.
Okay, it is very
And also it
voluntary.
can be done by you, for you to build that account.
Yeah, because I remember you also said these NSSF contributions are mandatory.
The
For
15%
Yeah.
is mandatory.
It's
The
mandatory.
5% from your end, the 10%. So for me, it is a right that every employee has to fight for. You can do it directly or indirectly
Yeah.
through whistleblowing mechanism.
Now, what if my employer fails to pay?
Fails to pay.
And how do I know? Do I receive a message?
Yeah,
every
you
month
receive
that-
messages each time they pay.
What
these
if they
days.
don't?
What if they don't pay?
Yeah.
You have to inform them or inform NSSF. They have to pay. Yeah. That is the cost of starting a business.
And how do they calculate those retirement benefits? Especially when you retire. You
Depends
say
on your contract.
okay. Depends on your contract.
Yeah, we have
What do you mean?
severance pay. Like some companies might say maybe for every year you've worked with us, we will pay you 2 months. Others will pay for every year you've worked with us, we shall pay you half a month or 1 month. Yeah, so when you are leaving, you get your big bag, then you go home.
What investment options that NSSF use to grow members' funds?
It has every bank, at least for the banks I know.
No.
Every bank, NSSF has an account.
Okay.
So they do what we call fixed deposits. So they fix money there. Then they have real estates. They have done cross listings. They have, if you go to Kenya, NSSF is a shareholder in some companies.
Okay.
That is how your money grows. It has projects. I've seen it, construct projects.
Are they taxed? Those contributions, NSSF contributions?
No.
Those ones are not taxed.
If you get it out, you get your clean money. Then you enjoy it.
And
With a
then-
bottle of soda.
Then how does it impact on an individual's financial security?
It is, by the way, 90% of employed people, that is their financial security.
Okay. So you
Because, by the way, as we are here on training them, they have gotten calculators and now they are saying, and now I have 100 million. So every employee, that is at least the biggest financial knowledge he has. He or she knows what they have on their account.
okay.
Yeah.
I think this has been a very good topic that
Thank you.
people really always want to listen to. People always want to learn about NSSF. People always want to know, but mainly they always want to know about when will I get my money
Can get it.
and how can I get my money. That is something that always keeps running in
You
people.
can get it at 45.
45 years.
Is it the 25%? You can get it at 25.
Now there is this other issue. Do people submit their next of kids when they're applying, when they're saving with NSSF? Especially if they die. What if someone dies?
Yeah. When you die, it goes to your immediate family member.
So the immediate family members claim for it.
Yes. Supposed to get it.
Only those that are registered.
It is public information. You have to tell your children.
Yeah.
Just in case, this is my NSSF number. Yeah.
Okay. That's good. Now, I have a few questions online here. and still Ivan Masengere. Ivan Masengere still went back to some topics back and was asking how many times should VAT be paid on a single item in case I buy and sell, and the one I sell it to sells it to.
Now you see, VAT is value added tax.
Yeah.
By value, we don't mean that you've manufactured. Even movement of goods, maybe from Kampala to Lira, it is a value add. If you add a certain margin on goods, that is a value add.
Yeah.
So at each and every point of value addition, VAT has to be paid. Even if a commodity passes through 30 individuals and everyone has added something, someone has gotten VAT on that commodity till to the final consumer who will consume that commodity. Yeah. So it is value, but people confuse value addition to manufacturing.
Yeah.
Yes. So value addition, it is broad. For example, if I give you this phone here, then this phone, you put a casing. Isn't that value add?
It is value add.
Yes. So value add, people think it is manufacturing. No, just moving goods maybe from Kampala to Ntinda. Like if you have a boutique, you get a dress at 10,000, then you sell it at 12.
Yeah.
You've added value because you've moved those commodities. Yes. So we are saying this 2,000 you've gotten, give government 18%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, of course everyone is government. They
Yeah.
already say government and the people. So they
That's what
give
they
you.
say. Yes, they give us. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So then Masengere was still asking, can I be registered for VAT when I am not above the threshold?
No, you can't.
Okay.
Yeah. You can only be registered if government feels, URA feels, you've reached that threshold but you don't want. That is called forceful registration, and there is an entire clause on that.
Okay, we will continue with a few questions coming in. Here we have Tibrichu Habib, thanks for following and learning. Ramaza Aaron also say thanks for the great opportunity. The opportunity is still on for the next 9 days. So just be here, be with this link, always follow every morning. We shall be starting at 9. Every day we shall be starting at 9. I see very many people here that joined. Vavidia Nora, thanks for joining. Berinda Nancy, Magezi Stephen, Wambale Julius, Vanetta Namubiru, Pretty Oliver, and very many others. Tegeka Robert, thank you for joining. I see Aminabo Kenya here from CNOOC. Thank you for also joining, and very many others that are joining, and those that are still out there trying to listen to the coaches right here. So I have a few other questions that I had skipped, and someone here was asking, I think you answered, Naivari, who asked that if I'm having a small company, how do I get tax clearance?
Yes, I did.
Let me get some other few questions here. But as I look for these other few questions, there is something that I really want to understand when it comes to taxation. We have very people that have very, very small businesses. Like, let's talk about people that are selling, like, let's say you have tomatoes in your garden, but again, you don't want to be taxed. You have 1 acre of tomatoes, but you don't want to bring in all this taxation, filing return. Can't you do business with CNOOC? Can't you do business in the oil and gas sector?
You can't.
So anyone that is not paying tax,
CNOOC will need a tax clearance certificate. Remember, give Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Don't take Caesar's share. Yeah. So it is important you get to the compliant vehicle. It is important. Don't say I don't want. That is an uncalled for statement for lack of government here, as you say, that I don't want. No, you should want it.
Okay, so it is a must if you want to work with the oil and gas sector. You must make sure that you are very compliant and you really love and like to pay tax by yourself, not just being forced. That's how things are being done. That's how also CNOOC can deal with you. And your taxes, of course, your taxes work. That's what URA keeps telling us, that our taxes work. We have learned a lot. Today we have learned about taxation, we have learned about payee, and we have also learned about NSSF. And these are topics that you as an SME lead can really relate to these other members. These are lessons that you have to tell everyone in your company, everyone in your local SME, so that they understand that paying tax is good because it helps. You also let them know that payee is something that is very important for them, and saving for them. If you have someone that is working for you, but you can't make sure this person is saving some money, then that means you are not a good boss. It's only a good boss that makes sure that the employee is very well, and that boss makes sure that your future is also better. So, as we make a summary of all this, I want you, Mr. Senoga, to give highlights of about taxes, your last parting shots about taxes and payee and NSSF, the basics that these people should pick mainly from all these topics.
Thank you, Michael. Maybe what I would want to emphasize in a auditing, we say it's not documented, it's not done. So I encourage everyone to keep records and have records of the transactions they are talking about. Don't trade hearsay with the tax man. You never sort out anything. Have your records, keep them, go to consultants to show you what a record is and what a clean record is. Tax is just an end, but the process starts and ends with documentation. Make sure you have a recording of the transactions that you are talking about, so that you can have what explained. Don't just say, don't have hearsay, but have documentation. Keep records. If you have your records, it is easier to explain.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, there is someone called Mr. Michael Isache, and he's following live on Twitter, that's X, and is asking, how does one know his current balance in NSSF?
You can visit NSSF offices.
So
Or
you can only know the balance when you visit the offices.
they can get monthly messages. Or I think why he doesn't know his balance, because he doesn't have an updated number with NSSF. Let him visit. Oh, by the way, by mere calls, they can update your account. They update it. You change your email and phone number. You can just write to them. Remember, these are public entities, and we are the citizens. They have to serve us.
Okay. As I wait for some more questions, I don't know whether the team here, the production team, has a small video about CNOOC. Production, do we have any video ready about CNOOC? Okay, we don't have any. Let me get here a few other questions as we wrap up. I want a few other questions, and then we wrap up with taxation, payee, and NSSF. So if you have your questions, please send in your questions, because at exactly midday, we shall be ending this training about taxation, payee, and NSSF. So just waiting for a few questions, like 2 of them, and then we'll call it a day. Then you will be able to join us tomorrow. Which topic are we having tomorrow?
Tomorrow it's going to be, tomorrow we shall do income tax, value added tax, and withholding tax. That is for Ivan.
Income tax, value added tax,
withholding
and
tax.
withholding tax.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, as early as 9, we shall be starting, please. We shall be using the same link. Just be on. So I have a question here. I have a question here still from X. Someone wants to know. This question is from Asimwe Evelyn.
Oh.
She says that she opened a salon business and registered it as, he registered it at URSB. But after a year, she had it to close due to COVID. However, URA keeps sending her messages saying she has taxes to pay. How do you advise her?
If she closed it, she should go to URA and inform them of that fact. However, she was supposed to be paying returns. She was supposed to be submitting returns, not paying. New returns, confirming it. By the way, there's too much weight on my shoulder.
Yeah.
But I'm not making anything. So a return is the only, it's a voluntary way to communicate the volume and level of activity. Yeah. By the way, even such businesses had their funding of how they will be reconstructed and all that.
Okay.
So let her go to the taxman. Sometimes listens. let her go to the taxman. She explains, then we'll get there. But the only problem she didn't file new return. So going forward, she'll be filing at least new return. Because now what URSB does, it pushes that data to URA, then URA NOC.
Okay. So Evelyn, you have to file returns. The returns are from the earlier business, the saloon that you had. So you have to give the taxman something.
No, she can't even file nil.
You can file nil, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Showing that
I never got anything.
Things were not easy.
Okay, Evelyn, hope you've understood this. You can file returns. Go tell the taxman that things have not worked out, never worked out for me very well, and it was COVID time. They will understand you, and of course, they will really stop sending you those messages demanding for the money. Then I think lastly, here on our YouTube, I of course continue thanking you guys that joined us on YouTube. Continue, let the vibe continue. I think you will still get answered even after this session. But we are also live on our X. Vectra has a link that you can get and follow us live. I want us to learn together. We need to be very many. Share the link, share the link, share the link, so that very many other people benefit from this lecture. So your parting shots, Mr.
Thank you so much. I would like to thank the sponsors of this event, CNOOC Uganda, for thinking through improving Uganda. So such seminars are really good, even if you know something, but if it is being re-echoed, somehow it sinks. So I would like to appreciate them, but then too, I would like to appeal to every business owner, if they want to do business with serious organizations, especially in this sector, they have to be compliant with the tax law. By the way, compliance doesn't mean paying. Compliance and paying are two different things. If you believe you're not making any money,
Yeah.
inform the tax man. No one will force you that you're making the money. So for me, that's it. Thank you so much for listening in. Hope to meet again tomorrow at 9.
Our viewers, remember this is the CNOOC Online Enterprise Development Program, a trading that will happen for the next 9 days, and we shall be here every day starting 9 to midday. And remember, this program aims to address the unique challenges faced by SMEs in this gas and this oil and gas industry. And we will be having different segments. Every day we will be learning about a different thing. Every day we shall be learning about a different thing. And we have experts. They will bring in all their expertise. They'll coach you, they'll mentor you, and they'll enable you learn a lot of things that you have been really asking yourself, things that you have always wanted to know. And we shall hear from the human resource side. We shall hear about branding and marketing. We shall take everything in that when it comes to oil and gas, because CNOOC really wants you to be in the sector when you are well versed with what is really happening, and you have the information, and you have the qualities, and you have all the requirements that you really need to be part of the oil and gas sector. Tomorrow we shall start the same time. Share the link. We shall use the same link. Go on Vector, follow Vector online, and that's where we shall be every day. For now, I remain Michael Wader, your host, and let's catch up tomorrow at 9 a.m. till midday. Thank you for watching.